Yes.
0. There we go. Now we're ready. Hello.
No.
Yay. Welcome back to more Dungeons and Dragons. Hooray.
Waffles?
Yeah.
Get it wrong.
Yay.
What? Waffles? It's not Dungeons and Dragons.
Sorry. Dungeons and Breakfast. Very important distinction. This one comes with extra syrup. It's like Dungeons and Dragons, but more syrupy and buttery. Hey, Edge. How's it going? Yay.
No comment.
How is everybody? Everybody doing good? I hope so. Because we're going to have a fun time playing some more Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, man. Well, you guys just want to start? You just jump right into it, start the recap?
Yeah.
Okay, so, last time on Dungeons and Breakfast, The Curse of Strahd. Episode, what were we on? Like, episode 12, you said?
Yeah, last time was episode 12.
Jeez, man. Episode 12. Your group had just left Strahd's castle, deciding to go back to the village of Barovia to go find Irina and perhaps escort her to a safer place, maybe Vallaki, maybe somewhere else, anywhere besides that village. You decided to head back there, and on the way, you, after outrunning a very strange undead creature that seemed to be pursuing you again for the second time, you outran it, crossed the large bridge that crosses the River Ivalis, and made your way to a place you had seen along the bank before, where tents had been set up. You thought you might find some life there. It was starting to get dark, and you walked down the bank to find a group of strange individuals, all kind of drinking and being merry around a campfire. In fact, these were probably the first happy people you've seen in Barovia since you've been here. They seem to be carefree and not really paying attention to the troubles of this very dark land that you find yourselves in. And it was a pleasant change of pace. It was drinking, merrymaking, all sorts of good times. Crowley and Botak got very drunk, and you had some interesting conversations with them.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Waking up in the morning, things were a little quieter, as nearly the entire camp had hangovers, including Crowley and Botak.
My head hurts.
And you were summoned, so to speak, to the larger tent near the bank of the river, or the Sur Pool, as this river turns into a large lake where you're at. You went inside the tent to meet a strange old woman who seemed to speak in riddles and new things about you all. She told your fortunes using some strange cards that you hadn't seen before, saying things like where you might find some sorts of treasures, or alluding to your pasts and how you might work towards fixing it, and strange things like that. After this interesting conversation, she lets you keep the cards, and you find yourselves exiting her tent on a very dull morning, no sunlight as usual, but it is still morning nonetheless. There is some light. This kind of gray overtone washes the entire camp as you see the Vistani, as they call themselves, walking around, just kind of attending to chores women and children that you hadn't seen before are actually moving about. You guys also had waffles last time, if we were just talking about before we started. You guys also had delicious waffles. You had a good hearty breakfast of this strange breakfast food that you have not seen yet called waffles.
I don't know.
And they were delicious.
They had something better called, French toast.
You don't know what French toast. There's no such thing as France in this world. You've never heard of French toast. There's only waffles.
Wait, hold on. If we're going with everything correctly, okay, does that mean that the Git invented waffles? Because Git is just angry German.
Oh, that's true. Git,
Yeah.
it's brought to them from a foreign land.
I mean, who else than the citizens of the realm of chaos would have the chaotic idea to take dough, smack it in between two plates of weirdly shaped iron, and throw it into a fire?
Who knows?
So what you're saying is they're all scientists.
They're all
They all must be
scientists.
really smart. Anyway.
So it is kind of a chilly morning. It's pretty cool in this land in general. You haven't really had any nice sunny days or anything like that, so it hasn't been warm. It is cold and wet as usual. What do you guys do after exiting Madame Eva's tent?
Yeah. That was informative about a lot of things that we probably may or may not need that could help us. But some of those were just like stuck in the middle. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm just like brain hurt.
Well,
Excuse me.
bless you,
Sorry.
godly voice from the elf. I would say, let's head back to Barovia because we have a promise to keep, guys. So yeah.
Rude.
Okay. Your group starts to make their way, and as you do, Namir, the large man who seemed to be in charge of keeping the camp, kind of approaches you. I assume your visit with Madame Eva was enlightening.
Very much.
Indeed, it was.
I am glad to hear. Do you make your leave then?
Yes, we have a friend waiting for us.
Ah, I see. Well, if we are around and you see us, feel free to stop by at our camp anytime. We travel around. You may see us in the future. Maybe not here, but perhaps elsewhere. I do hope that we meet again. He kind of bows his head slightly.
I do too. Having a friendly face in this land is always a good thing.
Yes, some people forget that the most important thing to do in Barovia is to smile and drink. And he's like, he brings up two. He brings up two wine flasks. Here you go, for the road. And he hands them to Crowley and Botac specifically.
Thank you.
Be sure to keep an eye out. I would be remiss not to see your faces again.
We
I
will
will-
do our best.
I will be double careful.
Well then, to our next encounter. Now, if you excuse me, I must go wash out this dreary headache that I have at the moment. And he begins to head towards the river and kind of splash some water on his face. And just like cup his hands in the river and start drinking a lot of water. No, we have Tama tonight, Edge Crusher. Tama's here. Tama, hello?
Hello?
Hi. Tama, can you give us a pointus just so that we know you're here?
Please?
Why is Leo saying Queen?
Yeah, no, Tama's also... Yeah, you see right there, it says Leo Tama for today, right there.
Yeah.
Leo, your impression is impeccable.
Yeah, Leo, you do a really good Tama impression.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, thank you. Yeah. I eat Tide Pods. Ooh, yummy.
Tama is borrowing Leo's account for right now for Discord because she's hanging out
Oh, yeah, I've
with
been baited.
with Leo and Arya at the moment.
Those poor bastards.
More Tama than they can handle.
Yes, 24/7 Tama for a week is too much for any person.
I don't know. I think I could handle it.
Where in the thing is like wine bottles? Is there a wine thing you can add to your inventory?
You can add a custom object. I don't think wine is technically in the. I think there's ale or some kind of booze there might be in D&D Beyond, but other than that, you could just add a custom thing that says wine bottle.
I see a glass bottle, a 1 ounce bottle of ink, bottled breath, ever smoking bottle, and an Ifriti bottle. But that's all
Okay.
D&D Beyond
Yeah,
has.
you'll have to custom add it. Do you know how to add custom items in D&D Beyond?
Nope.
You let's see, how do I explain this? You've got to go to like manage. So if you go to manage inventory, manage inventory, there's a button
I see it now.
called add custom item.
Yep, I see it
You
now.
should be able to click that, and then it's not too hard from there.
Grazie.
Okay. So you're heading out then? Your group's gonna make their way outside of the camp. And we will bring you to the overworld map. All right. You leave the camp, kind of waving goodbye to the friendly faces that you've met at this Surpool encampment. Once again, finding yourselves on this dreary, kind of muddy road. It's not as muddy as it was before. It did stop raining. It is kind of just a slightly misty morning, but still damp. And you begin to make your way along the path back to the village of Barovia. I'm gonna make a few rolls.
Oh lord.
Hey, well,
Revenant round 3?
you could do. Yeah, I was about to say if you could do a favor and roll another natural 20.
You go 3 spaces, make a roll. Your first hour is uneventful. Your second hour, also uneventful. It is just a very mild breeze as you make your way back up this incline to the main path that kind of winds through Barovia, and off of this this muddy 2-track, so to speak, that brings you down into this encampment. Again, Go ahead.
Guys, remember this for next time. This was a lot shorter path than the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a little bit shorter, if not more uncomfortable. It's a little harder to travel because you're going way down to the bottom where this lake is, and then you're traveling upwards again, coming from both directions. So it's like a bit of a steep climb. It's a little more exhausting, but it is much shorter. You kind of find yourselves, slicking through the mud a little bit as you make your way upwards.
So what you're saying is, if everything is nice, we can take this path. If there's a revenant coming after us again, we should take the other route because we don't want to get stuck in the mud.
You would think it might be a little harder to traverse this path, if you're running from something. It might be a little more difficult to be running at maximum speed down the hill or something like that. Once again, you come to the crossroads that points to Vallaki and Castle Ravenloft, and another direction on the sign pointing towards the Surpool, and yet another direction pointing towards the village of Barovia, next to which this strangely out of place gallows is, where you had seen, I think, which one of you saw the...
It was Tama?
Gwen, yeah.
Yeah, Gwen saw the body kind of hanging from and rotating next to this gallows next to a graveyard. There doesn't seem to be any other building in sight. It is just an oddly placed gallows at this crossroad.
So can Gwyn not see anything again now?
Make a perception check as you approach this gallows and kind of apprehensively look around and see if there's any kind of body or anything like that.
12.
12. Well, first of all, you don't notice there is no body. You would very visibly see a body hanging from this gallows. It is not there. There is nothing there at the moment.
I don't know what he says at the moment.
Let me just do a roll real quick. Let me look at something.
Can we actually walk all the way up to it, or is there something?
Yeah, I mean, it is an old... The floorboards of this gallows are slightly... They're rotted and haven't seen probably use in a very long time. The rope just seems to be covered in a slight mold. And...
Ew.
Thuxora is gonna look at the others and be like, guys, do we have a few minutes?
I guess. I didn't like this place last
what
time.
What exactly?
I want to see something. Because I learned a neat new trick. And she will walk up to the gallows and use Identify on it to see if it has any magic properties.
Okay. Are you doing the ritual casting of Identify, or do you have it prepared?
I'm gonna use the ritual cast.
Okay. So you're gonna go up and sort of touch this gallows and set up your ritual to try and see if there's any magical properties to this. Are you, like, the rope specifically?
Probably just the whole contraption.
Okay. Well, you can touch a specific part of it, like the actual noose and the hanging part. You can't touch the entire gallows itself and see if the whole thing is magical, but you can okay, probably.
Then I'm gonna touch the rope.
Okay. So you guys watch as Thrixora reaches out, touches the rope, sets up this ritual around her using whatever implements you have on hand, and close your eyes and try and focus on any kind of magical energies. While you're identifying it, you kind of reach out for what kind of school of magic might be affecting this thing that would cause maybe some kind of illusion magic. You do sense a magic from it, but it's not from a specific school of magic that's easy for you to understand. It's not something you would find commonly. You detect hints of necromancy and illusion. And suddenly, you feel this tightening as you touch it and as you hold on to it. This tightening around your heart. This kind of pain that starts out very dull, and you're kind of like, oh man, I must have walked too hard today. Just maybe I should take a rest, to this constricting, sort of grasping feeling. The longer you hold on to this rope, the tighter it gets. Tighter and tighter till it becomes a very heavy pain. What do?
I'm probably gonna let go of it.
You let go of it, and you feel the grasping, clutching feeling on your heart suddenly release. And you kind of catch your breath and clutch your chest for a moment as you feel this relief wash over you.
Okay, guys, somebody messed with this thing. If I had to take a wild guess, I would say it might be Strahd, but could be literally anything. Anyways, I think, Gwyn, what you saw was an illusion of magical nature, so this illusion can't hurt you, and I want to get the fuck out of here.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. That's fine.
Doxora is gonna jump down from it, join the others, and then hint towards or hint them that she wants to start going.
Move on. You hop down, feeling this wave of relief from this. And you do note that this same feeling, you've felt it before, that feeling of something clutching at your heart.
Cardiac arrest.
Yes, you've had a bad experience you did too much exercise one day and it was absolutely terrible, and your heart just started going crazy, and you're like, oh man, this feels exactly like that. Actually, it's not too far off. You did feel the same kind of pain when you saw that body before, the one that Botak had said looked like you, but it was just some dead woman lying off the edge of the path.
And I think Botak, that corpse of mine you found, might have been the same shit. It felt pretty similar.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, I don't want to be around that. Because that body was spooking the crap out of me.
yeah.
Thrixora, can I have you roll a wisdom saving throw for me?
Oh god. Here we go. It is probably helpful not to roll the dice so hard out of panic that it rolls off your desk. 1 second.
Oh no. It's like it turns out it was a nat 20.
Okay, a second attempt here. Please don't die, please don't die, please don't die again.
You haven't died yet.
That is a 15 total.
That's pretty good.
15? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you feel that wave of relief. Nothing else. Other than this strange uneasiness that kind of overcomes you, and you kind of do a double check back to the noose for a brief moment. The mist kind of seems to hang heavily over this area. You do notice it kind of drifts over these graves in an almost unnatural manner. It seems to be kind of focused here. Are you guys heading on? What are you guys doing?
Forward.
Yep. Let's go, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, let's get out of here.
Like Zoink Scoob. I need a good sandwich. What?
I could get
One
into
of
a
you.
discussion about something, but I'm not going to. Keep that for after stream.
Oh my gosh. I want a Dungeons and Dragons Scooby-Doo edition at some point. This needs to happen. Where you guys go through the death house again, but as like zoinks, there's a ghost.
Well, there's the thing though, is that
Somebody
whoever-
stole Daphne.
whoever's being Shaggy is going to be insanely overpowered.
I know, right? Yeah, he's gonna. What's that one Shaggy meme? The one where he like gets super powerful.
Yeah, it's canon now too.
What's that called? I forgot. It's like next
Ultra
level
Instinct Shaggy.
Ultra Instinct Shaggy. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's they're just like a barbarian. They could be a barbarian and they go into rage mode, and that's Ultra Instinct Shaggy. The Scooby is actually the dog Sophaxis. Zombie Scooby.
I sent you that picture when you needed one and you didn't want it.
Yeah, that's true. You did. You sent me a picture of Zombie Scooby-Doo. Oh, that was terrifying, though. I don't want that picture ever again in my head. I am so mad that you reminded me of that. Oh, no. Anyways, your group moves on. It's another long trek. You see the road kind of... You've already been through this part of the road. It's going deeper into these large deciduous trees. You pass another bank of the river again as the road meanders on. But you encounter nothing. Again. It is uneventful. You guys are getting so lucky. You guys... It just seems quiet. Slightly windy. And every so often, you hear the sound of crows kind of cawing in the distance. But no sign of danger or anything like that. By the way, who's taking the lead? I probably should have I should have remembered that.
Attack.
Botak is taking the lead? Okay. And your passive perception is what again? I have my
12.
perception lists up here. But 12. Okay. Thank you. And for the last hour, it takes you the better half of the day to finally reach the village. You cross the bridge and you see the buildings in the distance. Mist kind of wafting over the roofs of the buildings and throughout the streets. It is just as silent as ever. You approach the village, and there is almost an eerier stillness than when you had left. You kind of remember back on this village after you had left it. You encountered a lot of stillness and quiet as you were walking through this road. Somehow, this village even seems quieter and stiller than the road meandering through nature in the middle of nowhere. It is a quiet place. It is a very unhappy feeling place, so to speak. I'm going to bring you back to the village. You walk through the town, through the mist hanging over the road. Again, curtains close. You see a man kind of tending to a small garden behind their house. And he looks to you and just gives you a silent stare as you walk by, kind of freezing in his place.
Thuxora is gonna smile at him and wave.
He just watches on
Same.
as you walk by. No return smile, no return wave. Just a dead-eyed stare. Eventually, you come to the crossroads where you had originally kind of seen this inn and Bill Dress Mercantile. Where do you guys go from here? In the village of Barovia.
Probably to What's-Their-Face's house, right?
And head down to Irina and their house. It's the
Yep.
biggest mansion down there.
Okay.
And I have a question. Why is Thuxora's token bigger than everybody else's?
Thuxora's token is not bigger to me. You might have
size.
to refresh, maybe? It shouldn't be.
Yeah, because for me, Gwyn's is very small, Botek and Crowley are a little bit bigger, and Thuxora is just huge.
It's probably Roll20 being stupid again. If you look at my stream, yeah, you guys are all totally normal sized. You have cat ears for some reason on your icon. Who drew those?
What?
How did that happen?
Oh, Little Blue, you got Jimmy John's? Oh, I'm so jealous. I had to shove a whole bunch of food in my mouth before stream started because I was so hungry. I just made a
Still
quick
bigger for
TV
me.
dinner. That's weird. It's just Roll20 being Roll20. Let me resize it again and then I'll put it back. Maybe that'll fix it. I'll just do that to everybody.
That fixed it.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes Roll20 just be like that. All right. There we go. Okay.
Let's go in, yeah.
Are you guys going to the Burgomaster's mansion?
Um,
Already there.
Yeah, I'm heading in.
oh,
Okay. As you make your way through the streets, the very familiar now sound of the crying coming from Mad Mary's house echoes throughout the streets, kind of reverberating off the buildings.
Actually, can we stop there first?
Okay. You,
Which one's her house?
it is this house right here.
Okay. Just to let her know that we know her daughter is alive,
Okay.
but we're still looking for her location.
Okay. You approach the house and you hear this crying, this sobbing noise in the streets. It's coming from the upper floors. You go to try the door. It's locked again.
All right, he's just gonna knock on the door. What's her name again?
The town colloquially knows her as Mad Mary.
Okay.
She never gave you her full name when you guys talked to her.
Hello, ma'am. We have some news.
You hear the crying. It's kind of this. There's a pause for a moment. Who is there?
It's Crowley and the rest of the group here. We have an
You-
update for you.
You hear the window kind of a bunch of noises happening, like the sound of maybe boards being pulled, and the curtains open up and the window slides open, and you see Mad Mary, very reddish eyes. It is obvious she has been crying. She looks down at you. What news do you bring?
Your daughter is still alive. We don't have her location yet, but we know for a fact that she is still living.
Oh, oh, that is good news to hear. My good Turda. Thank you so much.
You're
Where-
welcome.
You do not know where she is?
We don't know her location yet, but
Yeah.
we do know that she is alive, and we're not going to stop looking.
Thank you so much. Tell her her mother misses her.
You can tell her that yourself when we bring her home.
Yes, I would love to very much. Thank you. The Morning Lord must have sent you. Thank you. She kind of clasps her hands together and looks up at where the sun would be if there was a sun.
Alrighty, we need to be on our way now. We'll come back if we have any more news, okay?
Yes, please return to me when you can.
Alrighty. Take care of yourself, okay?
Thank you. I will. And
Alright,
you,
come on,
you,
guys.
you see her kind of like look down at the ground, and her eyes dart back and forth. And she takes a very deep breath, and a very brief smile flashes across her face. And she closes the window, but still seems to be watching your group.
Crowley's gonna wave and then start heading.
As you guys leave, you notice for the first time since you've been in this town, there is no sound of sobbing or crying echoing throughout the streets.
Aw.
We done a good.
You make your way. Go ahead.
Well, you can say that once we found her kid.
Well, yeah, but the fact that there's anyone even trying is probably already a positive for her.
You make your way through the streets, eventually coming to the large, more intricate than the rest of the buildings, this large manor that belongs to the burgomaster. Outside, you see a familiar woman placing these logs over a stump with an axe and seems to be chopping firewood. She's dressed in a much less of a kind of elegant dress than she was when you first met her, and more of she's got some pantaloons and kind of this tunic, more dressed for hard work or travel than previously. She notices your group as you begin to approach and kind of gives you a brief smile and a wave. Ah, you've returned. It is good to see you again.
Yep, we are back.
I will go get my brother immediately. He will be happy to know of your arrival. Give me a brief moment. She sets the axe down and rests it against the wall. Goes inside of the building. And after a brief moment, returns with Ismark, who is wearing these like bifocals that you haven't seen before. Seems to be in more of a regal attire than he had previously been in. Ah, I see you've returned. Welcome. How was your journey?
A little dangerous, a little weird. Not what I expected from Strahd, but had a good time afterward.
I am just glad to see that you made it back alive and in seemingly good health.
We met some nice people.
But please, come in. We will talk inside. I do not trust the wandering eyes out here. You guys going inside?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hold on, give me a second. Thank you, Ruko. Thank you for the 1.5 years. That's awesome. I appreciate it.
I knew I smelled the Ruku somewhere.
I smell Ruko. Smells like delicious breakfast. Yeah, stay awesome, possum. Oh, thank you. Your group heads inside. And it seems the place has been tidied up a little bit more. The windows are now completely boarded up. It doesn't seem as hastily done. It's still boarded. It's still not glass panes, but at least there's not a heavy breeze blowing through the mansion. And it seems a little more comfortable. It seems to have been dusted off a little bit. Ismark sort of beckons you to go sit down at the large dining table that sits adjacent to the main sitting room. Please sit down, sit down. I can get you something to eat, perhaps if you are hungry at all.
I do believe we've had breakfast. How much time has passed? Do we know if lunch?
It is about, you started at a pretty decent time, pretty early in the morning, just after sunrise, and you traveled how many miles? I would say it is late afternoon. You would assume it's getting around there. The sun might be going down in an hour or two.
Oh, so it's around dinner.
It'll start to become evening in an hour or two, I should say. It'll start becoming what you would compare sunset to if there were a sunset here. It gets very dark
Wow.
very quickly. It goes from sunset to, it goes from dusk to night, like very fast here in Barovia. You've noticed there is a very quick transition. By normal standards, it would become sunset pretty soon. Thank you, Plasma, for the hydrate of the Dom Noms. Yes, I will get drinks and foods. Thank you, thank you.
Um, I'll take a little snack.
Yep.
Uh,
Some food actually sounds good. We were marching pretty much all day long, so yeah.
Very well. We have some dried meats and, if you don't mind, more potatoes. We don't have
just like
much.
me.
Those are great.
I love potatoes.
That is good because you will see a lot of them here in Barovia. You see, and he begins to cut up the potatoes, and you see him grab these drying meats from this kind of hanging kind of board above the kitchen. Grabs
The
one of the
finest of prosciuttos.
yes, exactly. Starts grabbing these dried meats and stewing them with the potatoes. You see, only the hardiest of vegetables grow here in Barovia. From, well, as you would guess, the lack of sunlight we get here. I apologize if I cannot give you something more to your tastes.
Oh no, potatoes are great.
Yeah.
Very good for
You can cook them, you can bake them, you can fry them, you even can make spirits out of them.
Well, we have not tried to make spirits out of them. Mostly, we get wine here. In fact, we the only alcohol we have here in Barovia is wine.
We need to get you some rum.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were gonna say, Crowley. The moment you said only wine, I was like, Crowley is definitely gonna be like, you guys need some rum.
I've not tried it before, but I do hear that the traders that go to Bildras do from time to time offer him some of their liquors. But they are expensive, as they come from outside of this world and or this land and are very hard to come by here. Give me 1 second. I have to figure out why the music exploded.
Uh-oh.
Music, why you do this?
Don't explode, music. We need you.
We need your music. Okay, there we go. Should be working.
Yep.
Okay, cool. You see Irina sits down at the table, kind of rests her elbows on the table, crosses her hands, and rests her head, her chin on her hands. So, tell me, how are your travels? What happened with you and Strahd and the dinner that he invited you to?
Well, he's an asshole. We'll get that out there.
Yeah. It's kind of an ass. Well, not kind of. He's like a big ass. But
Yes, he is a
nice.
loathsome creature.
The dinner was nice. It wasn't anything all too fancy, but it was definitely something that was, well, not something that this. I'm guessing most of Barovia is accustomed to eating.
I've had better.
No, I briefly remember eating dinner with him, though it is hazy like all my memories with him. It was good food, if I can remember it, but I think we should beware his attempts to charm us with niceties.
Yeah.
He's like
That's
a
not-
snake in sheep's clothing, so to speak. But I am
He's,
grateful you are not hurt,
I would say, yeah.
for if he desired to, well, you would not be here right now, I don't think.
Yeah. I got the sense from his butler boy that not the best of all people working there. Let's say that.
Yes, there are lots of rumors about those he employs directly. Those he charms to do his bidding, or forces in other ways. He has those who work for him everywhere. That is why we are careful to speak in places that only we trust. He has eyes all over the land. Give me a second. Plasma Iridium Nom Nom, and that's an excuse for me to eat jerky, so. Thank you, Plasma. And your trip?
okay. Mostly uneventful. We did meet some very nice people, though. We spent the night with them, had some wine, and had a nice little party, actually. It was good.
People. You see Ismark turn away from his stew for a moment. What people?
I believe they called themselves the Vistaya? Lasan?
Him and Irina kind of glance at each other briefly. Be careful around them. There are rumors they are spies for Strahd. They come to town often enough as traders here, but they are the only ones allowed to leave this land, and it is at Strahd's command that they are able to do so.
Yeah, but from what we've heard from them, it might be at his command, but it might not be a command he was giving very willingly. It sounded like there was some deeper connection that granted them the privilege to leave. And the way how we experienced Strahd, he's not the man to just grant somebody that privilege out of goodwill.
Interesting. They do not talk of their history very much. They seem to be mostly focused on the present, I would say. The three sisters that run the inn, I've tried to get information out of them, but they do not seem to care about anything other than, well, selling their wine. The traders are equally as mysterious. Nevertheless, where there is smoke, there is fire. Just try to be careful.
Don't worry, we will.
Well, here is your potato and meat stew. Enjoy. He brings you, you just see him spoon what is essentially just a water with some spices and potatoes and meat in a stew form, kind of slopped into a bowl. He presents it to each of you.
All it's missing is some noodles.
Actually, just did a very dumb idea.
Uh-oh.
You know that thing they gave us at the cake, at the camp, these waffle thingies? I wonder if you could make them with a dough out of potatoes.
I'm not sure what you speak of.
They basically had a very interesting way to bake, almost small breads. They had 2 iron plates. They put some dough in between, and then they threw them into the fire.
I think it tasted more like cake than bread.
Yeah,
Like a cake made in a pan? like a cake made in the pan. Interesting.
Let's call it potato pancakes, shall we?
My sister is much better at cooking than I am. Perhaps she would love to hear of this at some point if you could describe it to her in detail.
I mean, we're gonna travel with her, so I think we'll have a lot of time.
Interesting. I love learning new recipes and such. I don't get a lot to cook with here. Mostly potatoes. And various meats.
I myself love to sometimes just improvise with cooking because, I don't know, I guess it's a natural fear of myself that whatever ingredients I'm cooking with spontaneously turn into completely different ingredients and therefore make improvisation very, very handy.
I do not understand. What do you mean? They turn into other ingredients?
I assume it's something to do with my origin, but I couldn't tell you more. I'm sorry.
Correct.
It would be very annoying.
Note to self, I'm not sure if I want to eat anything Threx makes.
You're just like cooking with potatoes and poof, suddenly they're like apples.
Listen, Boat, it's never a thing that I actually experience. It's just the subconscious thought, what if this suddenly turned into that? So, Yeah.
I would love to see the different ingredients that you can make, though.
I would be confused and baffled, but I would like to see it as well.
So, he did not attempt to do anything to you when you met him.
Oh no, not at all.
We had a very interesting talk.
He told us to kill all of his people.
And him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
So, the
Oh, it's
Thuxora basically looks around. Should we tell them everything? I guess we probably should, right?
We're gonna be traveling with her, so why not?
Yeah. So, he told us a bunch of things. Maybe to start at the beginning, apparently he got us all here by sending us visions. And once he trapped us in Barovia, he apparently started evaluating our abilities and skills, I guess, because it seems like he is looking for a successor to the throne. And
A successor?
Yes.
You mean he doesn't want to be the ruler of Barovia anymore? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that was my
I
thought.
don't think anything about that man makes much sense.
That is strange.
But let us continue. So, he wants us to travel around and prove worthy somehow. And I guess that includes, beating him in a fight. But honestly, I don't think any of us is ready for that right now. So,
Yes, I think
traveling around, helping the people.
Not with our strength. Not yet.
I do not. I've never heard of anyone besting him in combat, especially not in his own realm. That is a lot. He is crafty. Do not take any of his words at face value. For he will say anything to serve his wishes. Excuse me. Feel the hiccups all of a sudden. Oh, excuse me.
I mean, we have our own plans. Don't worry.
Very well. Whenever you would like, I'm ready to travel with you to wherever we might be heading.
I think we should start our journey in the morning tomorrow.
Yes, that would probably be best. I think we
Just
can
get last night of sleep in.
take the evening here. It is not good to travel the land at night.
Rude. This place is very dangerous. We've seen this really big thing with a really big sword twice now. It looked kind of slow, but it looked very threatening.
Yes, there are all sorts of creatures that waylay strangers upon the road. That is why nobody really travels between place to place here, other than the Vistani, who seem to be, well, they are able to go where they please without being waylaid somehow. It is another reason why we suspect they work with Strahd. Either way, I have not personally been very far outside the village myself, so it will be my first time experiencing the land of Barovia outside of this village. I am both frightened and excited at the same time.
Well, sorry to tell you, but there's not much to see other than trees, mud, and rain. So, you haven't missed much.
Mhm.
Yes, but it will be something else besides these worn down people and buildings. I grow sad for the village. It is all I ever see. Sometimes I travel to the bridge over the river and I feel like there is so much more to this land. There is some sort of... There, beneath all of the darkness, there is some sort of beauty hidden underneath. I can't explain it. But I can't wait to experience more of it, even if it is just rain and wind and mud. At least it is something new.
All right then. Well, let's go to bed, and then we will start our journey early in the morning.
Very well. I still have to chop up wood for my brother. I fear he is going to be busy once his role as burgomaster takes full hold. And I would hate to see him cold at night. You see Ismark kind of turn to Irina. You don't need to worry about me, sister. I will be okay. I can take care of myself.
Well, guys, I would say let's get shopping all together. It's the fastest if we all help, right?
You don't have to. You don't have to worry about that. We will be okay. You are a guest after all.
Won't you just be careful?
Irina heads out to the outdoors. Are you guys gonna help her chop wood, or what are you guys doing?
Well,
I will
Sapsara's
help
gonna go
chop
outside and
wood.
help her.
I'm
Yep.
going to
Okay.
do that.
All right.
Yep.
Since you guys are all helping chop wood, you don't have to make a roll or anything like that. It's wood chopping. It is a little exhausting, but since you're all helping out, you guys spend the rest of the afternoon kind of helping make this very large wood pile out of the logs they have chopped so far. And until it's all gone, they are completely out of wood. You do notice... Perception. Hold on, give me a second. All of you do notice the ravens still hanging out on the tree.
The birds
Ever
work for
present.
the bourgeoisie.
Watching you. Kind of... kind of turning their heads. They don't seem to... every once in a while, one of them leaves, but another comes to take its place.
Get out of here, you pests.
They kind of just turn to you. Don't move off of their branches. They know they're safe.
I don't like them.
Can I cast Thunder Wave on the ravens?
I mean, you can if you want. That's totally within your realm of power.
Just remember, they remember faces.
Irina does turn to you, Crowley.
What is the intelligence score on ravens?
The intelligence score? You don't know. You have no idea. You know ravens are pretty smart for animals. Oh no.
I'm tempted to do something.
Uh-oh.
I am going to pick a random raven and cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on the raven.
Oh no.
Oh no is right. Okay. Hold on, let me look up Tasha's Hideous Laughter really quick.
A creature of your choice that you can see within range, which is 30 feet, which I assume we are in.
Yes.
Standing under the tree.
You are definitely within 30 feet of one of the ravens.
Falls into fits of laughter if the spell affects it. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or fall prone, becoming incapacitated and unable to stand up for the duration. A creature with an intelligence score of 4 or less isn't affected.
Okay.
And the saving threshold is wisdom 12.
Wisdom 12?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You cast this spell. You kind of... I don't know. How do you... What's your flavor for casting this spell? What do you do to cast Tashi's Hideous Laughter? Do you tell a joke?
Probably...
Tell a bad pun?
Literally just sitting back watching this.
How do you call a valley full of bakeries?
The raven kind of just...
A bread pit?
Oh my gosh, this is terrible. You're gonna cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on me. Cast it on the DM.
I have a really good one. Hold on.
Oh, how do you call it when Batman skips church?
No, I got a different one. Hold on, I'll send it to you real quick. Here a second.
Okay. Yep. The answer would be Christian Bale.
Oh no! Oh my god!
I am with you, Tama. I don't know.
You don't get the because Christian Bale is
No,
Batman.
I mean, I know, I get it, but for God's sake.
Yeah.
There you go, Dinley. Did you get it? Dinley?
God, that one is even bad for my standards.
Oh,
Cast
it's great.
Tasha's
I love
Hideous Laughter on the
Just
whole
ahead.
group.
Come on.
Just everybody. Everybody roll a wisdom saving throw.
I'll do it. Why not?
A man is at a funeral of an old friend. He approaches the dead man's wife and asks if he could say a word. The wife says that yes, he could. The man stands up, clears his throat, and says, plethora. The wife smiles and says, thank you, that meant a lot. Crowley failed his.
Crowley failed his wisdom save.
I saved.
Botax succeeds. Crowley, you take 1d4 psychic damage.
I'm fine with it.
Long rest will fix it.
I mean, I got a 16. But I'll still
You
take
still
one.
failed. You auto fail.
I failed
Oh
as
my
a lab
gosh.
IRL. There you go.
Yeah. You failed in real life. Oh my gosh. Okay. So anyways, what did you get? What did you get, Gwen? Just for shits and giggles.
Oh, for God's sake, fine, I'll do it. 1 sec.
Yeah. What do you think this is? Not D&D? This is D&D.
Yeah,
You will
come
roll
on.
for every bad pun.
17.
17. All right, damn it, you
You
succeed.
guys.
Quinn got the best out of all of us.
Crowley, you're on the floor laughing.
I love that joke so much. I
You
told that
you
to a friend
do-
at work.
The raven kind of cocks its head. You hear it suddenly do like this weird, what you would think that a raven laughing would sound like this, like this very repetitive caw. But it doesn't like fall over or anything like that. It kind of just but continues to just
We
watch you.
established that they have an intelligence score higher than 4. um, you know.
However, you were struck for lightning for that pun. You're struck by lightning, I mean. Suddenly
How much damage?
I'm just kidding. All right. Anyways, you guys you continue to chop wood. You cast Tasha's hideous laughter. Irina kind of snickers to herself for a moment. Remember, it is a bad luck to mess with the crows. I would hate for any bad luck to be cast upon my brother for such a hideous sense of humor. She kind of just keeps chopping wood with a smile on her face. It doesn't take you guys very long to chop all the wood because you guys are all helping. It is turning nighttime by the time you guys are done. Which, as I said before, comes very quickly. It is dusk. There's kind of like this orangish tint to the land. And very quickly, it is going to become nightfall. What are you guys doing?
Well,
Once we're done with the wood, go inside and lay down.
Okay. You guys go inside. Are you guys just going to sleep for the evening? Anything else you guys want to do before you go to bed? Or anything you want to talk about with Ismark or Irina or anything like that? Or just pass out?
Can I show Irina the doll quick and see if she's ever seen the doll before?
Sure. You bring out this doll, the red dress, the very nice design. She looks over it briefly.
Have you seen this anywhere before? This is Miss Mary's child's doll, and we've offered to help looking for her. We're trying to get as many leads as we can.
She looks over the doll for a minute. This was from Mad Mary?
Yeah. It's her daughter's. She's gone missing.
She kind of glances over it for a brief moment, turns it back and forth. There is something strange about this doll.
In what way?
I can't put my finger on it. It is giving me an uncomfortable feeling.
Let me ask your brother if he's seen it before. Ismark.
Sarah's gonna see that they're talking about in this, like, Harley, can I see that for a moment?
Sure.
Identify!
Okay. You're gonna cast Identify on it?
Kennedy's new favorite spell.
Yes.
Okay. You place it down in the middle of... Are you just kind of like doing this ritual in the middle of their room?
Yeah. I think for the ritual she will do some old gift incantation song thingamabobs. So it sounds nice.
You mutter these incantations in the Gith language, and you're not sure how you know them exactly. It's more of an instinct than anything else. You guys all just watch as Therxora sits down and begins to mutter things. And what did we say, Gith? Angry German. and in Gith, and
Was ist kaputt mit dem blöden Ding?
I can't understand a word she's saying. What about you guys?
Yeah, I understood
Not-
perfectly.
Not a lick.
Just kidding.
Good to know.
I love that Gith is just angry German. Yeah, she begins to mutter these incantations. You kind of hold on to this doll, grasp it, close your eyes. You feel a very strong aura of magic coming from this doll. Necromantic in nature.
The girl is the doll.
Oh,
It's
no.
Annabelle.
Interesting.
Hmm.
This. It feels like necromancy. Something is definitely up with this doll. I just
Heresy?
can't really. Oh, God damn it, Bozak.
I'm joking around.
Nobody expects the Bozak Inquisition.
True.
But yeah. This is interesting.
Yeah, let's see if Ismark has seen it before.
Mhm.
He is older, right?
Ismark?
Yeah, he is older, right?
He's older. Yeah, he's a little bit older than
Okay.
Isabel. You hand it over to Ismark. He looks it over briefly. I cannot say I have seen this doll before. I have not talked with Mad Mary very often. Most people in town tend to avoid her, and I hate to say it, but I avoided her as well. I did not realize I would be becoming burgomaster so soon. Unfortunately, I do not know anything about this doll.
All right.
However, I feel the same as my sister. There is something strange with this doll. I want to point out both Ismark and Irina rolled a natural 20 on their perception check for the doll. Both of them.
Nice.
They sibling power, I guess.
Wonder Twin power activate.
Yeah, exactly.
Form of a baby doll.
There is something strange with this doll.
Well, while we're gone, just be on the lookout if you can. If you hear anything about a child, a little girl that may have been seen either taken or because
will.
we're trying to help her out.
I will
Today,
keep
think
an
we
eye
actually
out.
got a smile out of her.
Mad Mary.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We found that the daughter is still alive. We don't know what kind of condition she's in or where she is, but she is still among the living, so we're able to give her at least that much comfort.
How did you figure this out?
Yeah.
Magic.
He told us that we could ask a question. And Crowley asked if Strahd knew where she was.
And he
Or
said
if
he
she was
did.
alone. Well,
It was more
not
along the
exactly.
line, yeah.
Hmm.
He knows that she's still alive. Doesn't know where she is.
Well, it is hard to say whether you can take that at face value or not. But my father did say this about Strahd. He may be a
Wait.
despicable man, but he is always. He is not one to tell lies, for he feels he is above it. At least as my father described it. But I cannot say for sure. Hi,
I
Icy.
wouldn't put it past him, but
Nah, I don't think he was lying about that.
yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. Just not on this.
I've known a lot of liars in my life. I would be able to tell.
Hmm.
Is there anything else you guys want to do before you go to sleep for the evening?
No, Crowley's just gonna tuck the doll away with his stuff and hit the bed.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's the same.
All right. You guys all go to sleep. Is anybody keeping watch like as usual, or you guys all just gonna pass out?
But that can take the first watch.
Okay. All right, Botak, you are gonna hang out in the living space and kind of. The windows are extra boarded up now. They are. In order to look outside, you would have to actually be outside of the house, unfortunately. Unless you just want to like make sure nobody like breaks in or something like that.
Yeah, I just want to like. I'm not gonna like look outside all too much. I'm just gonna be like right next to the door for my shift and
Okay.
just listening in if I hear any footsteps or anything.
Okay. Roll a perception check for me as you kind of just listen.
Hey, that's a 19.
19. You listen. And throughout the night, mostly what you hear is the brief kind of howling of the wind as it blows through the little cracks in the boards of the windows, and the ever-present ravens cawing outside the house. Every once in a while, you'll hear a wolf howl in the distance.
Oh,
Whoa!
Exactly like that. That was
I
the
used to
wolf right
sound in my
there.
sleep.
Barf. Woof.
Woof, woof.
How? Woof. Barf.
No, it's more like. You hear brief in the
Kirill
distance.
stubbed his toe.
Yeah, he stubbed his toe. Other than that, you don't hear anything trying to break in or anything like that. About what you would assume to be midnight, you do hear footsteps kind of making their way across the muddy front of the door. Do you do anything?
I get my one hand on my maul, and the other hand is making sure that the door is locked.
You check, and the door is indeed locked. With a lot of extra. It looks like some more locks have been installed on this door. It is extra secure. It would take a lot of force. Somebody would have to break down the door physically in order to get in here.
I don't want to. I don't want to go outside. I feel like. I feel like if I go outside, something's gonna jump me.
Okay. You
I feel safe inside. It's warm inside. It's dry inside. There's no rain.
you hear the crunching of dead plants. The brief splash of somebody stepping into some mud. And then nothing. Only the sound of crows and the wind. Nothing else really catches your attention for the rest of the night.
The entire time, Botek is just like flipping his maul in his hand, just going, yeah. I really, really don't want anything to bust down this door. Um, make sure to make a note. Who was going next? Let's see. Did anyone else want to keep watch?
Well,
Gwyn is mumbling on the couch.
No.
Who's doing next watch? Gwyn, are you doing next watch?
well, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, come over to
So-
Gwen and just shake your shoulders for a little bit, going, "Hey, Gwen."
No, what? No, I don't want rum. Yeah, what?
Wine.
It's your turn to take watch. Just let you
Oh.
know, be a little bit careful. I heard a lot of stuff, like movement, footsteps and stuff around in the front, like in front of the door.
Okay, right.
So be on like big listen near the door.
Okay.
I feel like somebody's trying to test and see if we're awake or not.
Okay. Gwen picks up her warhammer and props herself against the door to listen closely whilst keeping a hand on the hammer.
Okay. Make a perception check. Botek, you're going to bed then?
Yeah, we'll take a
All right.
take a nice
Get
little
that long
nap.
rest.
11.
Okay. Gwyn, you spend your watch sitting next to the door. You hear the same thing Botag did, this kind of whistling of the wind as it creaks through the boards. And you hear it too. This crunching noise of plants being stepped on. Feet of some sort moving across the ground. It comes and goes. Every about 5 minutes or so. For a good 30 minutes. And then it's gone.
Huh. Sounds like whatever it was, it's gone, but what were they doing out there? can Gwyn go to a window to peek, or
You would have to pry off one of the boards of the window. You can if you want, but you can't
there's
really
no
see
little
outside.
gap? No little.
Uh, I'll say make a perception check with disadvantage. You kind of peek through a little tiny gap in the boards.
Okay. How do I put it as a disadvantage again?
You can just roll twice if you want and take the lower number.
Thank you.
On my phone.
Schmoodle's power's out.
16.
Schmoodle, your power died?
No.
Yeah, I'm on my phone right now.
Oh no, that's not good.
I could still play, just using my phone. I have the app for D&D Beyond, and I can use Roll20.
Okay, that's good. Oh man. Well,
Just if I need to move my token, you're just gonna have to move it for me.
yeah, that's no problem. I can do that. Geez, is it storming in your area or something, or what's?
Yeah, it
Oh,
just
dang.
started too. I didn't even know it was gonna happen.
Just out of nowhere. Oh well.
Yeah,
At least you can play on your phone, I guess. That's
all of a sudden,
at least you're not going to be
Yeah.
bored. Oh man, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear. Well, I hope it comes back pretty soon.
yes.
You rolled a 16, you said, Gwyn?
Yeah, that was my lowest one.
Okay. A 16. You see a shape move past the window very briefly. You can't make it out, considering the very small crack that you are peeking through, but it is definitely something out there. But you can't make out what it is.
Did Gwyn notice it was particularly fast at all, or?
It didn't seem abnormally fast. It didn't like whoosh. It kind of just briefly moved across your vision, or what you could see through and you couldn't really get a good look at it. It was kind of just a shape of something moving.
Okay, right. Gwyn's just gonna keep peeking out of the window for that crack for a bit then.
Okay. All right. You keep peeking out of the crack. You listen, you watch for any sort of movement of any sort. 15 minutes pass. You see it again, the movement. You hear the crunching of grass. Briefly, it passes by your vision as you peek out of this crack, and then it's gone again.
I don't know what to make of this. Well, I'll tell everyone in the morning, I think.
Okay, you continue to watch and listen for anything else, any signs of like forced entry. But other than the strange shadow that you see pass by and the crunching of the dead vegetation outside, nothing. Other than that, your watch goes relatively uneventful.
Okay.
Botak.
Yeah.
You're pretty exhausted from the day's travel, and sleep takes you pretty quickly. You kind of just lay down where Gwyn had been resting and immediately just zonk out. And suddenly, you're awake again. But you are not in the mansion. You are standing in a forest at night.
No, I'm on a beach.
This strange mist envelops the entire surrounding. You glance around for a moment. You smell a stench on the air. A stench that might be familiar to you. The stench of blood. You glance downwards and you see a body lying on the ground in front of you. Its mouth cast open, kind of blood marks and wounds all over it, lifeless. And then you see another one, and another one. You kind of peer around you, and you see bodies surrounding you on all sides. Blood soaks the ground. And you recognize something about them. They all are familiar to you. You recognize them. Fellow compatriots. Warriors of Tolviren, carrying his symbol. Friends that you haven't seen in a very long time. Weirdly, all these bodies, as they are lying around you, have their heads turned in your direction. They seem to be staring at you. Lifelessly. What do you do?
Am I standing right now?
You are standing up.
Okay. Botek will go to his knees. Look at each one individually and try to remember the last time that he had seen each of these vases.
You kneel down and look at the nearest one to you and try and remember back. And brief images flash into your mind of that singular day. The undead clashing with your friends. Screams of agony, pain, amongst an already littered battlefield of death and corpses. It flashes through your mind, and you clutch your head. It is visceral, the pictures that come to your mind. It is almost like you're reliving it again as it plays like a broken record in your head over and over again. The screams, the death, the falling of your friends as they are one by one slain. And you look up and you see it. The hungry eyes of a lich. Smiling. Watching. The mist passes by him and he is gone. The bodies are gone. And you wake up in a cold sweat, gasping for breath. Gwyn, you see Botak suddenly spring up, awake.
Um. Are you okay? What's going on? Gwyn goes over to him.
Mm. 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 I'm.
You. What was it? A nightmare? What was that? That didn't look like a normal reaction to an. Are you okay?
Not, not something I want to remember fondly, that's for sure. And yeah, I would call that a nightmare.
God.
I haven't,
Botak,
I
you
haven't had that in a
feel
while.
a familiar feeling. This tightening, this grasping pain on your heart. It is intense.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
It's a little chest pain.
Um. Gwyn's panicking because she doesn't know how to deal with it.
When you see him, he's like
Belly.
covered in this cold sweat.
Oh God.
I just need a minute to compose myself. I'll be alright.
Do you want? Gwyn rushes to go grab a canteen or of water or something and bring it over.
Okay. Easy enough. You go to where the water is kept and grab yourself, kind of dip your canteen into it and bring it back over to Botak.
Yeah. Water. Drink this.
Thank you. Thank you. I haven't had that nightmare in a while.
Oh. Is it something reoccurring then? Does it always make you feel like this?
It's not always the same, but
You've never had one that visceral before. That felt like you were actually there. That felt like something. It felt like you were re experiencing things again.
that felt like almost complete real. Like I was there again, watching it unfold in front of me.
Do you? You've never. Okay. That's not. Just given the circumstances of what we've been experiencing lately, you know, what I saw at the gallows, the dead body thing, we've been seeing a lot of weird stuff, and I'm just wondering if it's. You've never had one like that before. I'm trying to piece it together.
Not that strong. No.
Okay. It might be worth talking to everyone in the morning about it if you think you'll be okay for tonight.
Possible. Oh, I need. God, I'm gonna have a headache. I'm just
lie,
gonna have a headache in the morning. I already know.
you lie back down, and I'll sit next to you for the rest of the watch. Okay.
Alright.
Okay,
Thanks,
Botek.
Gwen. Gwen, thanks. Thank you.
No problem, little buddy.
Botek lies down and you watch over him for the rest of the night. No, nothing really happens with that strange intruder you had seen before. Botak, you fall asleep again, and you don't have any more dreams. Your mind is blank. You kind of just enter this darkness, and then suddenly it is morning, and all of you guys awake. The rest of you had a pretty decent sleep, feel nice and refreshed. Botak, you had a little bit of a rough night, but you're still long rested, um, for now.
Morning, everyone. Interesting stuff happened last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was weird movement outside. For one, a shadow, and I couldn't quite visualize it. I couldn't quite get a good vision on it. And also, I'll leave the other thing for Botak to explain.
Man. Alright.
Let's walk you through, bud.
Well, say I had a rough night is a little bit of an understatement. And I had a pretty bad nightmare. One that probably was worse than all the other nightmares I've had.
Were you seeing dead people again?
Probably about 11 other dead. All
Around
faces that
me,
I know.
or-
All friends.
Okay, not me then. Okay.
Oh, yeah. All people that I had some knowing of for, I'd say, good 5, 6, or 7 years, depending on the person. We went out on a mission. I was, well, as a test of skill and devotion, I was put in charge. The others didn't feel I was ready for it. They didn't listen. They didn't see the big problem. They didn't see the threat. They didn't see the thing. They didn't listen to me. They didn't see what I saw, and thus they felt that they could exterminate all of the undead that were in a ruin. It went all right for a few minutes, but I could feel that we were, well, running low on resources. running low on our spells, our abilities, and that's when I spotted it. Something way, way out of our league. We could not fight that, especially with everything spent. They all they didn't see it. Voltec uh, sits on the ground, head hanging low. They they didn't see it coming. I told them that we should run, that we should back off, that we should fall back, regroup, rest, and maybe even call for reinforcement or aid or something. But none. Not a single one of those 11 friends of mine listened. And none of them are ever able to do that again. And I'm alive because I ran, because I saw and knew what we could not fight. There was no way we could win. But they overestimated themselves. They did too much. And before they even knew it, as I was running away, I could hear their screams as they started to fall. And I dared not look back, for I ran the entire day. I did not stop to see if anyone followed or if anyone made it out alive. I just ran. The nightmare. All 11 faces were staring straight at me. Every single friend, they before me in a bloody mess.
Well,
By this time, Ismark and Irina have come downstairs. And they've been listening. I am sorry to hear, friend.
But wipes the sand out of his eyes.
Mm,
Not the tears, just the sand.
Death is not something we are unfamiliar with here in Barovia. Nevertheless, it is always something painful. We have also experienced our friends and family dying. Everyone here in Barovia has. This land has a way of reminding you of it. And that is why we all seek to leave. So that no one has to go through things like that.
Voltec firmly grips his maul as probably tight as he can, stands up and looks at everyone and goes, if they had listened, maybe they had been here today helping me. But now that I know what this land does, I want to clobber Strahd as soon as possible to get out, to not feel that again. I really, really hope there is something that gets in our way today. Because I feel like I need a clobber ahead.
Xora is tempted to make a joke about him not reaching the head and going for the ankles instead, but she's not gonna do it.
Cass tosses Hitty's laughter.
Wait,
He can't always uppercut the head.
I
Hadouken!
can jump.
One of us.
I can jump.
Sure you can!
No, one of us will just get down on our hands and knees for you to use as a stool so you can launch off of us. Be like Airbud.
I can totally see Botek at some point just turning full on Yoda and jumping around while fighting like Yoda does.
Oh, you should have been a monk. Opportunity missed.
Multi-class.
That's what I want to bring Phyllis in as if Crowley ever dies. She is totally coming in as a fucking monk.
Paladin monk style. Here we go.
All right, what are you guys doing?
Well, if the sun is up and everybody's ready, we should probably start walking towards the next city.
Cue the Route 1 music.
Okay. All right, you guys are gather up your stuff. Ismark and Irina both, give each other a brief hug. Are you sure you're gonna be fine, sister? Do not worry about me, brother. I'm sure I am in safe hands. I will find somewhere safe, and I will try and contact you when I can. You see Irina's in this much more travel suited outfit, kind of similar to what she was wearing yesterday. She's kind of, except for she's got a cloak on now, kind of this dark brown cloak, and seems to have like this big pack full of stuff, pretty ready for travel. You know, some cooking materials and things like that, ready for a longer journey. Well, I am as ready as I can be. Are we leaving town immediately?
Probably for the best. I'm in an itchy mood to go.
Yes, I understand. Well, I will ask you to lead the way. I've never been outside of the town. This is going to be a new experience for me.
Right.
Is there Ismark kind of gestures to you all. Is there anything I can do to help you before you leave?
You've already done a lot for us. I don't think there's really much more that we need. Thank you very much for your hospitality.
Please, it's the least I can do. You are strangers, and yet you've helped so much with our small village. I cannot do enough to repay you. If you ever find yourselves here again, I will give you the best hospitality I can as burgomaster of the village. Please watch over my sister. Make sure nothing happens to her. This is my only request.
You have my vow. As long as I'm able to move, I'll keep her safe.
Of all the outsiders that have come through our land, you are the first to offer so much help, and for that, I thank you. It has been a long time since we've seen generosity here. I do hope you the best of luck as you travel through this land. Please watch over yourselves. Keep an eye out. Do not trust anyone, for Strahd's spies are everywhere. He will attempt to deceive you. He will attempt to destroy you mentally. For he finds pleasure in such things. Be careful. He kind of bows his head to you all.
Let that go bow back.
Okay.
Thuxora will bow back too and be like, and she will look at Crowley specifically. Do not eat any weird pies and pastries.
Josh.
Yes, it would be very dangerous to eat anything from a stranger. That would just be madness.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Again, Irina gives her brother another brief hug. I will see you again. Goodbye, brother. And she heads out the door and waits for you all. You guys follow?
Let's get a move on, Jess. Day's still young.
Okay. All right. You guys all head out then. And are you making your way out of town? Are you going to be stopping anywhere along the way, or just immediately heading out? It's up to you guys.
Wow. Guys, what's our plan?
Well, I'm
Let's
happy to
let's make sure to get going as fast as possible, just so
yeah.
we get as far as we can during the day.
Huge.
Okay. All right. So you guys are just gonna head out of town.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys move through the village streets. The sobbing, you don't hear it. It is absent, making the streets quieter, very an unnatural quiet, a disturbing quiet. You almost didn't realize how quiet this town was without the constant echoing of Mad Mary's sobbing throughout it. The wind begins to pick up a little bit, and there is a light drizzle of rain again as you guys begin to make your way out of town. Okay, we're gonna make some rolls as you guys travel. As you guys move your way through this place for the third time.
Always with the rain. Great.
Along the Old Svalich Road. All right, here we go. What are you guys gonna encounter? Nothing for that one. Again, nothing. You guys are getting super duper lucky. Nope. Wow. Nope. Again, you find yourselves at this crossroads. It's been kind of a light drizzle, not a whole lot of rain. Not exactly comfortable either, but you've managed to do so well so far. No strange creatures with large swords chasing after you or any such thing. It is just this rolling mist that is ever present.
I smack it.
You see out of this mist the familiar shape of the gallows that you had seen before with the graveyard. Which direction are you guys going?
Which way to Velaki, right? That's the city's name, right? I looked at the signpost.
It's the signpost points north to the Tsur Pool and south to the it says Velaki and Castle Ravenloft, and then to the east it says Village of Barovia.
Right. Velaki is this way, guys. Looks like it's south from here.
All right, let's get a move on.
Okay. You guys are following the other path then? The main road?
Yeah.
Okay. Make some rolls.
Arms are locked like in Wizard of Oz.
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard of Barovia. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So, about here.
Good trap.
Give me 1 second. Okay. As you guys are moving along this road, it again, as you've experienced before, it kind of winds upward as you continue on, trying to. It's a very windy path as it tries to carve its way through the side of this mountain that is to your west. This very large, tall mountain that kind of looms over everything. You move through this passage. It's definitely not as steep as your way to the Sur Pool, but it is a lot longer because it's more windy. And as you're moving, it's hard to make out because of this fog. It's a little thicker today. It's a bit hard to see through. If you hadn't traveled this path before, you would probably be in a little bit of trouble trying to make sure that you stayed on this path. And as you move through it, you see appear from the mist, kind of moving out of it, a carriage. A very brightly colored carriage, very similar to the ones you had seen at the Sur Pool encampment that you had come across before. 2 very large draft horses pull this cart in kind of the rain and mud through this mist. And you see a singular person driving this cart, kind of holding reins in his hands, dressed very brightly, in the typical garb you would see on a Vistani. What do you guys do?
Hey, is that maybe them? Are they leaving their area?
Question, which direction is the carriage going?
It is heading the direction you're coming. It is the opposite of you, so it is going to the south.
Well, the Xara is gonna walk off the road a little bit just so she's not standing in the way when the carriage is coming through.
Okay. You guys going to step off to the side then?
Yeah.
Okay. The carriage seems to be followed as you step off to the side and you watch it go past. It seems to be followed by another carriage behind it. This one also a large wagon. And as you peer inside of it, you can see that it's filled to the brim with all sorts of like knickknacks and foodstuffs and tools, various like trade goods. And as it passes you by, the owner of the cart, the one driving the one in front, kind of gives you a glance over. You don't recognize him from the encampment. He's got this longer dark hair, this strange colorful hat, kind of like really this kind of higher hat with a feather in it. He glances at you briefly.
But that's gonna give him a smile and a wave.
He kind of gives you an odd smile and a wave. Ahoy there. Whereabouts are you heading? What'd you say, Crowley?
I was saying he's gonna give the guy kind of like a passing nod, but if he's saying hi, then never mind.
Okay, yeah, he does wave to you very briefly. Whereabouts are you heading?
We are heading to the city known as Valaki.
You are on your way to the city then.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you luck in your travels, he says as he continues to move by. He doesn't really stop. He's kind of just calling out to you as they drive by. You look in the back and you see another man in this wagon and a few women. They all kind of watch you as you go by. They're not really smiling. They don't seem to be as jovial as the ones you've met before.
Well, they're probably also not hammered.
You do notice a lack of wine in their vicinity.
Oh, that's probably why they're sad. They don't have the wine.
Do you guys just let them pass then?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. They pass on through. Nothing seems
Just
to
one
really
on the
happen. You kind of watch them as they disappear into the fog. And again, you are left with the pitter-patter of rain. Not much of a breeze today. Every so often, the cawing of a crow. And you continue forward. You guys continuing on?
Now let's go back to where we came.
Okay. You guys turn around. Okay, you guys are just going to keep going then? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see, okay. Boo. 2. Boo. All right. You all, without much more interruption, you come to the intersection after crossing the large bridge that had kind of overtaken this small little canyon that the river had carved through next to the waterfall. The very large bridge. You pass by it again. Note the strange gargoyles that kind of watch you as you go by. And continue on until you reach this gate. The large gate that had crumbled and with the iron bars kind of lying on the ground. In one direction, where you had gone before, Castle Ravenloft. No horses this time, or any sort of caravan or anything like that. In the other direction, through these broken down, destroyed gates to the northwest. Which way do you guys go?
Obviously back to Ravenloft, I know.
You go hang out with Strahd.
Yeah,
the
we're just
guitar
gonna
is
party
gonna
with him.
point at the gate and be like, I guess that's the way this time. The other way just leads back to the castle. So, yeah.
Okay. You pass by this gate, and you can notice along the ground you see as you pass by. There was a road sign here at one point, but it is on the ground, broken, pointing in random directions. One saying Castle Ravenloft, the other one saying Vallaki, but it's kind of pointing off into the middle of nowhere. As well as this broken gargoyle's head that is kind of lying on the ground with the rest of the crumbled infrastructure of what was once a very majestic looking gate. You can see there was definitely some effort put into this thing. It's a pretty hefty construction. For it to be toppled like this would have taken a large amount of force. Nevertheless, you continue through it into what seems to be more of this kind of hillish area. It's less mountains here and more of like more of these foothills. Not a whole lot of vegetation, though you do see some of these more of these deciduous trees, kind of deciduous and coniferous, kind of a mix as you continue a little more upward, kind of weaving your way further higher in this valley. It's still rainy, still muddy, still misty. Nope. Nothing there. Okay. You continue forward. After another 2 hours or so travel, it is starting to get dark out. It is starting to get evening, which is going to be here very quickly. And you guys, give me a second. Nope. Hold on, give me 1 second. Oh, let me see. I'm trying to find something really quick. My notes are all over the place. That is not what this is supposed to be over here. Okay, there we go. As you walk along this trail, you've seen this every so often a building or so. Almost all of them have fallen apart, have crumbled to dust. There's not much to any of the buildings in this area along this road. It is pretty. There's a lack of any kind of structures other than the gallows, which still seem to be intact. But ahead, you see it. A very large silhouette in the mist. These massive fan blades turning ever so slowly in the distance with the lack of a wind. This shape seems to be at the top of a hill, and this path that kind of meanders a little bit through this large kind of, I want to say, it stands at the peak of this hill, kind of staring down at you. This huge structure. It is a windmill. You guys would be familiar with this type of structure. It groans ever so softly in the wind as it kind of picks up for a moment and then dies down. What do you guys do?
Let's see. It's starting to get dark. Do we want to travel for another hour and make camp, or?
I mean, we could check out that windmill, hoping that it is not the windmill where these old pastry witches are living.
Bye.
You know, I'm gonna place a bet that they are. Just because I haven't seen any other windmills in this direction, and this is supposed to be where Valak is from. So, I'm placing a bet. Who wants to bet against me? Come on.
I don't know.
Yeah, nah. I think we should just move past it right now. We can come back for it. We have something important to do.
True.
We'll come back to that in a little bit.
Passive perceptions.
12.
16.
Well,
Crowley's is 15.
Crowley's is 15. What's yours, Gwen?
12.
You okay? You okay, Gwen?
Yeah.
It's okay, I have the same.
Thoxora and Crowley, you smell upon the wind the smell of delicious pastries. Crowley, the smell is very familiar, particularly to you. And you suddenly get this longing, this kind of... You're drawn to this smell.
A bullet. Oh.
Thoxora smells the two. Is like, oh shit, Crowley? No. Don't even think about it.
can I be drawn to it by anger?
You feel... However you want to respond to it, you do feel a sense of longing. Like you're missing something.
Missing my shoe through her teeth, or lack thereof.
Thoxora
It's
is
a-
gonna look at Botek and then be like,
Unnatural
"Look, you-"
emotion.
Thoxora is gonna look at Botek and be like, I have one gnome to restrain Crowley and Gwyn. I have a very bad feeling about this. Who has the better chances of holding in place?
Can I fight
pretty
the
strong.
need or the desire to go there?
Say again?
Can I fight the desire to go there?
I mean, yeah, you still have control over your own actions. It's just you have this panging feeling of longing as you smell
Okay.
this pastry. It's not like unnaturally moving you towards it. It's just you feel
Oh, okay.
an emptiness.
Yeah, let's get moving. I need to get away from here.
When?
Yeah. Let's go.
Gwen, what were you just thinking about?
Nothing. Don't.
Gwen.
So cool.
Look, Gwen, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I am not in the mood today. I am really, really not in the mood
You know
today.
what's really good for
Whoops.
changing your mood
Accidentally-
very suddenly and very vividly? The
Gwen?
delicious.
Yummy pies.
Gwen,
What?
I
Blow up
swear.
windmill.
Let's go.
Fine.
Fine. Ugh.
I swear, don't make me say it because I will.
You do notice you do notice quite a few crows like resting on top of this windmill as the the blades of the windmill have kind of stopped for a moment with the lack of wind, kind of just resting on it. Ow! Just watching.
Yeah, Corrali's just gonna start moving away.
Okay.
Waffles, does D&D include rules for dust explosions?
Dust explosions?
I know it.
No,
I
maybe
know what Deadly
maybe
wants
we
to do.
can just lob something burning through the window and watch the whole place go up. Because in the windmills, that's actually a well-known fact. But in windmills, you should never, 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 ever have an open flame.
Fire. Yes, because
Yeah.
everything, all the
Because,
powder catches on fire.
yep.
You can do it if you want. It's up to you.
I'm tempted.
But
Yeah, but what if they have? What if they have the little girl?
ooh, that's a good point.
We're gonna come back and kick their ass, but right now we just have stuff to do.
Yeah.
I mean, let's think out of character for a moment. Logically speaking, this is most likely gonna be some form of encounter, and it is very conveniently placed in this specific location to definitely draw the players into it. So I think, from a pure game design perspective, it might be doable.
Um, hey, Deadly.
Was Elena supposed to be sticking with us this entire time, or we're just dropping her off and then going about our merry way?
Irina, your group agreed to at least take her to Valaki and see if they could find somewhere safer, somewhere that Strahd could not reach her. It wasn't really planned out exactly what would happen, considering nobody had actually been to Valaki, so they weren't sure exactly. Nobody's sure what it's like or if it's even safe from Strahd. But that was the plan, to at least escort her this far.
So, Deadly.
Yes.
You ever play a video game, okay? And let's say said video game, Waffles, your camera,
My camera?
has at the very beginning of the
My camera
the
should be
camera's
fine.
broken.
Is it? It's working fine
I
for
see
me.
it.
It is very pixelated for me for some reason.
Uh-oh.
Maybe you
Is
could-
Discord freaking
It's,
out?
it's fine for me.
I will
fine for
try to
me,
fix
guys.
it. I will try
Discord
to fix it in the
exploded.
meantime. I will talk.
No!
So.
What do you want to kick
anyway.
some ass?
Anyway, You
ready to
ever
murder.
you ever play a video game, and in the video game you are like just starting out and you go, oh, I can go to this area, and then you immediately get your ass handed to you. You ever play one of those games? There are games out there that teach you, kind of like Dark Souls, that
Chatty,
you're
Chatty,
not always supposed to go to areas, and there could be danger there,
Chatty, I am
far beyond your level.
traumatized by Hollow Knight.
he's been traumatized. He's PTSD. I'll
Hollow
just
Knight
go to
is a
this extra
very
area. Oh, look, a secret boss.
extremely,
Bleh.
very Hollow Knight is a very extremely and unsatisfying game to play. Deal with it.
Coming
No,
from the person who refused to actually get the power ups needed to fight that room.
yep.
I had the skill to do
The-
it. I just got
the-
tired of it.
The thing is the following here.
Buying
We
your own
have two
people.
choices. Either we tackle this very conveniently placed windmill, and hope that the outcome is a positive one. Or alternatively, we venture further into the unknown. We have absolutely no clue when we will reach the town, what will happen on the way there.
Fix the
and
camera.
The camera's good.
yeah,
Fix it. Discord.
Anyway,
He's fine for me, and I'm a mobile.
I don't know why it didn't.
Sometimes Discord just freaks out.
You know what, guys?
People.
Let's
Anyway.
let's I'll do it like this to make up my mind, because I'm really not sure. I'm gonna roll the dice. Evens is I'm gonna be voting pro tackle the windmill. Odds is get the fuck out of here.
I said it made camp. Sleep.
Yeah, making camp right next to the windmill might not be the smartest idea.
It's where you go an hour away from it.
Okay, so you're saying go an hour away from it and then the next morning.
No, because next morning you just continue going.
And no, Fraser, we can't camp in the windmill because from all we know, the windmill is currently inhabited by weird old ladies that probably bake children in their pastime. So, yeah. So you're saying go an hour away from it and camp in the wilds?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. You continue onward, leaving the large windmill groaning in the distance as the wind picks up a little again. Behind you, you can hear the ravens cawing. What'd you
As
say?
Crowley's walking, he just has both middle fingers up in the air, pointing back to the windmill.
Kind of just backing up, both middle fingers out to it. You feel the windmill might be offended by this. But it's hard to tell. It's a windmill.
That's not noise.
You continue about an hour on, and very quickly the light from the sun begins to fade away, or what would be the sun kind of begins to fade. And just as quickly, you see the large shape of the moon begin to appear on the horizon. What are you guys doing? You're about an hour away from the windmill down the path. It is you notice that it's getting the road is getting a little more curvy here, and you seem to be going downwards again, deeper into this valley. The windmill kind of represents a high point of this road currently where you're at, and then it just seems to be going down farther and farther. You can't really make out much of the valley where you're at. You kind of just see this large hill to your east and this forest to your west, where it's just more of these trees, deciduous, coniferous, mostly coniferous.
Carnivorous.
Carnivorous trees ready to eat you at a moment's notice.
I think it's a good time to take a rest, unless you guys want to push for another hour. But we will be probably walking in the dark.
No, I think we should stop and rest. We can each take turns watching.
All right. If you don't mind, I'll take the last watch.
All right. I can take first. If anyone's opposed to it, just let me know.
No, that's fine with me. I've done a lot of watches, so.
Okay, so you guys are gonna set up camp.
Yep.
All right, whereabouts are you gonna set up camp? Just along the side of the road, or into the woods, or maybe in the hills?
I say a little bit in the woods, to be honest. I think we can get some cover from rain there. What do you guys say?
Sounds good. We'll be a bit more hidden as well.
A little more out of sight.
Works for
Okay.
me. Exora,
Yeah.
you good with
Let's
that too?
go into the woods.
All right.
All right, you move into these woods, which are some pretty thick woods. These are a little denser than the woods you've seen on the outside. As you get deeper into this valley, you have noticed that these woods are getting more and more condensed, and more vegetation seems to be the lower you get into it, the tighter it is. And it's actually a little hard to find a clearing here. Whoever's looking for a spot to camp, actually roll a investigation check. Actually, roll a nature check.
18.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
I was literally thinking, should I not?
Okay. Should have been survival. I screwed up, but it's fine. We'll take whatever that roll is. You actually managed to find a pretty decent spot to get a little bit of a clearing, at least enough of a clearing for you guys to set up a little bit of a camp. Irina goes to start gathering wood to help with the campfire. As the night goes on, the little tiny bit of rain that had been plaguing your travel begins to die down a little bit. So it's at least a calmer, nicer night without being rained on. It's going to take a little bit to start up some fire with the wet wood. But you guys managed to do so. Eventually, after a little bit, you managed to set up a campfire. I don't know if you guys got tents or if you guys just have roll-out mats or whatever, but you guys lay out your various camping gear and things like that. Irina seems to already be cooking something over the campfire. It is dark in these woods. As it gets darker and nighttime continues, the road becomes all but invisible to you. You can hardly see beyond this ring of trees that surrounds this small clearing you've set up camp in. The light of the campfire barely piercing through this slight fog that chokes your general vicinity. Nevertheless, the smell of delicious potatoes and meats passes by your noses as Irina cooks you another potato-based meal. A few cabbages, some heartier vegetables.
Oh.
She kind of turns to whoever's listening as she makes idle conversation. So, tell me, what is it like out there, outside?
Scary, dangerous, and every second thing wants to kill you. But other than that,
Correct.
fun.
I think she means outside of Barovia entirely.
Oh,
So,
The sun.
it's warm, burns you. If you look into it directly, you will not see for a while.
it's a warmth that all people should really feel.
I wish I could.
One day you will be able to. Don't worry.
You are all so different and interesting from everything I know here.
Ain't that the truth?
I feel like you all have very different lifestyles outside of this place.
Well, myself, I would sail the seas with my captain and my crew. Land really was never my forte, but
The ocean.
here I am.
I've only read about it in a few books that we managed to get in the village. I couldn't imagine. Hey, the largest lake I've seen is the Serpool.
Yeah. The ocean's all right. It's nothing special. It's definitely a view to see, either sunset or sunrise. It's pretty nice, but
Whereas
I
for me,
prefer the the view when you're overlooking a nice what are they, jungle plains or maybe a small desert area with a nice view of the entire land and quite possibly seeing what's on the next horizon after the sun rises or sets.
while myself, the way I see the ocean is just freedom. It's dangerous. Things can happen, but you're just out there, you and your mates, sailing in open waters, wherever your heart takes you.
Freedom. It is Not a word we use too often around here. It's something we speak of, something we wished for. I don't even know what I'd do with it if I had it.
Coming from someone who didn't have it originally, it takes a bit to get used to. But once you do and you find yourself, you'll be fine.
I would hope so. But it is just a dream.
I did it.
For the longest time, I wasn't even sure anything outside of Barovia even existed. Until I met some outsiders who had wandered through our village one day. They seemed to be detached from our plight, also from the outside world. They seemed determined. They wanted to meet Strahd, to confront him. We tried to grant them the pleasantries of the village, at least what we could. My father did. They left for the castle the next day. Then we never heard from them again.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm gonna wager you never saw him again.
Well, we did see them. With the rest. All the others who've come to this land. As they awake every night, making their way down the Svalich road to the castle. I pray that doesn't happen to you. You are also kind. I dream about it sometimes, you know, the sun. I'm sitting on the hill on a cloudless day, and the grass and the trees gently sway back and forth in the breeze under the sun's light. I'll see children playing in the river Ivalis as their mothers watch over them doing laundry. And I can smell baked goods in the wind. It is a strange sensation. I've never seen these things before, and yet I see them often in these dreams. Next to me is a man whom I do not recognize. Flowing, dark hair, a kind, beautiful smile. And I long for it, and I am filled with a sense of sadness that I cannot describe, a longing. But then the skies turn gray, the trees lose their leaves, the grass begins to wither. The people are gone, and I smell death on the wind. darkness begins to cover the land. Suddenly, I'm at a castle, a balcony, and I see him, that accursed man. He stands covered in blood over a pile of bodies. He reaches out to me, and I feel fear, sadness, anger. And I spurn him, and I cast myself from the balcony, and then I awaken. Many times I've had this dream, and every time the same. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
change the mood.
it's as I have experienced with my nightmare, I understand having a very bad time with it. It's can be very frightful.
I think if we learned one thing so far, though, then that's that we should never let our dreams influence us. Dreams are dreams. Some of them come, some of them go, some of them are given to us by others. That sometimes means good, sometimes they mean us harm. I mean, I have been led here by a dream that, how I recently found out, was given to me by Strahd himself. So,
Yes, I suppose they are. You are right. They are just dreams. They are not reality. The reality is that hopefully you find a way to leave this place and do not have to worry about such dreams anymore. And I will take these dreams and use them to keep me going, to be my strength in this land. Here.
There you go.
And she turns to you, Botak. I think that though they remind us of things that happened to us in the past, terrible things, I do believe that is still a part of us, something that makes us who we are. And, well, you shouldn't forget it. You shouldn't let it determine how you continue in the future.
Never
Learn
forget.
from it.
Know and make sure that you can always prevent it.
I think I'll go have some dreams myself. If you'll excuse me. I hope you enjoy the food.
Oh, thank you so much. I'll probably have some food and then head on down to hopefully not Nightmare Town.
Head on down to Nightmare Town.
Have something maybe nicer.
Okay, is there anything you guys want to do?
No,
Nope.
not really. I would just like to request that we end relatively soonish because it's already almost 2 a.m. and I have a meeting in 25 minutes that I need to attend to.
Oh no. Okay, yeah, no, that's a good place to end right there. That is I like that's a good spot to end on.
It was a good,
Yeah, that
good
sounds like a
RP
spot to end on.
episode.
Yeah. Sorry, no combat still.
No, that's fine. The RP stuff is equally as
Oh, that's
fun.
completely fine. Whether
I
it was
did-
combat or not, I enjoy the RP.
You guys
I
got so
enjoy
lucky on those
everything
rolls.
D&D. I was actually expecting something from the rolls. I was like, every time you kind of
No.
laughed, I was like, huh.
No,
something
nothing
bad's gonna
happened that
happen.
whole time. I kept rolling poopy. I don't know how, but you guys
I mean,
managed to
kind
avoid
of
literally
good,
everything.
but at least we didn't get no more natural 20s.
Oh man. Yeah, that was a little bit deeper of an RP experience that time. A little more wholesome than usual, or unwholesome, depending on how you look at it. What'd you say, Deadly?
I really wanted to blow up that windmill.
Yeah, you totally could have. You could have chucked a.
My
You could have chucked a
only
torch in there.
fear is that
You still
they're
can.
the ones that have the kid.
You can
Well,
always chuck a torch in there next
did that.
time.
Either we do that or we just go there, knock at the front door, show them our documents, and be like,
We own this place.
in the name of Strahd, you hereby are evicted. You have 48 hours to leave this place. After that, we will apply force to get you out of this place as seen fit.
Serve the
You
eviction
have
notice.
your 2-day notice.
You are evicted out of my place.
You have 1 week to pack your things.
Oh man, that reminds
Plus,
me. Of
if we
story.
kill them, maybe we can use the windmill as our own base.
Yeah, home base.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm just afraid of what they are.
So yeah, next episode,
It's actually
People
a
lucky.
we can
living
probably
windmill.
go kill. It's a living windmill. Windmill.
Yeah, it's definitely a living windmill.
Oh
It
my
wants
god,
to
it's
eat
a
you.
mimic.
It's a giant mimic.
No, it's not a mimic, it's a wimmick.
It's a
God.
windmick. Oh boy, that's stretching on that one. Oh no.
What if it?
No.
What if?
Tasha's pitiful laughter. No. Oh
What
my
if it has
gosh.
legs that come out of it, and we can make it walk to wherever?
Oh my god, yes, it's Howl's Moving Castle.
Yes, Howl's moving windmill.
Or
Yeah.
Choo Choo Charlie
Awesome. Aw, cute, huh?
Choo Choo Charlie. No. No.
Waffles. You're playing that. You realize
Oh.
when that
No.
game
No.
comes
No.
out
No.
next year, you're playing that game.
God, that is my nightmare. All of my childhood nightmares rolled into one. I was terrified
You've
of
seen
Thomas
my
the
Thomas
Tank
model,
Engine.
right?
I was terrified of Thomas the Tank Engine when I was a kid. I hated that show so much. It gave me such bad vibes.
Why?
It was scary. You see those faces on those trains? It looked like they were trapped in a perpetual like smile that they were like forced to
They had
experience for the
multiple-
rest of their
they had
unnatural
multiple
lives.
faces. It was like they swapped out
You're
faces depending on emotion.
Yeah, it was so jarring and weird. And they would just be like, I am feeling, let me take off this mask and put on the mask of sadness now. I am feeling the sad emotion.
Yeah, I avoided Thomas.
It was so uncanny
No,
valley.
thank you.
Meanwhile, I
I
fucking
have seen
love
that show
Thomas.
too, and I've seen the German version of it. And
I still
looking
love
back, the voice actors for that some of them really sounded like they were just constantly on drugs.
The English.
Looking back, they probably were, because how the fuck are you supposed to voice act something like that in a sober state? I mean,
Well, it
just,
also depends
just
on which
imagine.
version.
You can't be sober and voice Thomas the Tank
It
Engine.
also depends
Just
on which
imagine
version.
to the
Hilarious.
you're coming to the voice acting studio, and you're like, okay, so what exactly is my character? What am I voicing exactly? And your director is just
What
like,
is what is my character's
you're
feelings?
voicing a tank
There-
engine.
You
It
put on your
depends on
sad
which
face.
Generation of Thomas, because there was the Thomas where the trains actually had their own voices and whatnot, and there was the original stuff that was basically
It was just a guy
them-
reading a book, pretty
Oh.
much.
Yeah, it was basically reading the books,
Yeah.
and then having the model trains
Yes,
reenact
that was the
story.
version I remember.
The voice or narrators for the English version were Ringo Starr and George Carlin.
What?
Oh.
It was
Yeah.
really Ringo Starr?
Ringo Starr narrated for a while, and George Carlin.
That's amazing.
Killing.
I had no idea. I just
Mhm.
knew it was some British guy. That was it.
It was Leo.
It was Leo.
I
It was obviously
I
Leo.
want Leo to take an entire episode of Thomas.
You know who's more
Mary.
terrifying than anything? The fat controller.
Yes.
Sir
Oh,
Topham
yeah.
Hatt.
Sir Topham Hatt. Yeah, the guy who was like the ruler of the trains.
He was intimidating solely because you knew when he was pissed.
He would
So,
like
yeah, no.
they put he was the only like human that you would ever really see, and he would just get super angry a lot of the time. The angry faces were scared. Boy, we have
They
gone
just
off on a tangent.
Dumb shit sometimes.
Yeah, no, it was I'm telling you,
What
it
the
was
fuck?
and he was like
You
the
know,
overlord
cool.
over these trains, and he would like he would tell them like his name was the Fat Controller. That was like legit what he was called.
Train Lord.
He was the train lord.
All trains.
He's just trying to run a goddamn business, and they keep fucking up. The last time I employ talking trains, they can't have a mind of their own. We can't do this anymore.
Thank you, Jalela and Tommy Isto for the follows, by the way. Chachi, are you gonna keep streaming then?
Yes. As I am going to be going on to be playing Back for Blood next.
Big for the blood. Yeah.
Yay. I've been trying to be Act 2 on Veteran for a little while now, but every time it's been bullshitting us. So I'm very. I'm
Is
putting on
Veteran
my
the hardest
basic
mode?
game- No.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Chachi. So I haven't played it since I did the beta. I have it,
Uh-huh.
but when you're playing versus mode, when someone drops connection or if they quit, an AI doesn't take their place.
I
like it never
have
did?
no idea. I have not gone into the versus mode yet.
I remember the versus mode
Oh,
was not that spectacular. I wasn't.
Sorry.
It wasn't like
Well,
Left 4
see,
Dead's
then-
versus mode where you could be
Yeah.
like throughout the level. It was just a survive as long as you can.
Yeah,
I
I will
don't
say, I will say
know.
this: the Left 4 Dead 1 multiplayer versus was definitely probably a lot better.
Yeah,
This
because
one,
it was a contest to see who could get the furthest into the level.
Right.
this one's just a survive as long as you freaking can, and it gets crazy hard.
Yeah.
Like, if you, especially with all the things unlocked now, all the special infected, if you get people that grabs a crusher, a hawker, and a stalker, literally that's 3 allies that you have to
Oh,
save. If
wait,
you
there's
can
a
grab.
there's one called a hawker, like Hawk and Loogies.
It sees you and you're just wrapped up in tentacles.
Oh, I hate that name for it. Why is it called a hawker?
A stalker is a same variant of a hawker, but instead of like shooting spit at you,
A
it'll
stalker
jump
hawker?
and grab you and then start dragging you away from friends.
Like a hunter,
Yeah, well,
but except for
Yeah.
the hunter doesn't drag you.
it's like a hunter plus a smoker.
Oh
Hunter
god.
is still my favorite
Yeah.
special infected.
Yeah, the hunter was cool.
And then the crusher just grabs you with its giant arms and just starts crushing your entire body. So literally that leaves one player alive to rescue you, and that means that the last special infected is probably going to be either a puker or a
Puker.
exploder that just runs up and explodes when the
Oh
last
man,
guy
I'm
is
so
far away.
I need cash to get that game. That game
It's
sounds so awesome. I loved Left 4 Dead so much.
it's let me tell you right now, Waffles, the beta was easier than the actual game.
Oh man, is it harder now? Yes.
The
Let me die
veteran
more.
mode, the veteran mode is a lot harder than it was in the beta. That's for
Waffles,
sure.
quick question. Are we just gonna raid over to Chachi?
I'm actually going to raid my friend. I noticed Entertain is streaming, and I don't get a lot of chances to raid Entertain, and he's come and done a lot of support for me and hung out a lot. So I'm gonna go raid my friend Real Deal Entertain.
Real Deal Entertain. Okay.
He's a really cool guy. He's a fun streamer. He's playing Phasmo right now.
All right. I'm gonna do the same then. Just
Okay.
Have a good rest of your night, and we'll see you all next week for more fun with DMD.
Yeah, thank you, Chachi. Thank you, Tama, too. I don't know if you're still alive.
Still here.
Thank you for hanging out and playing and having some fun.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Guys,
No, thank you.
Oh,
No, thank you.
Power went out, but
Yeah, minus
Still
your power
good.
going out, that was
Yeah.
kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm still on my phone. I got to see. Yeah, we have a nor'easter. I didn't even know that was happening.
Oh, jeez.
I've heard nothing from anyone. I went upstairs to see what
Anyway.
was going on, and my mom's like, "Yeah, we're going through a nor'easter." I'm like, "The fuck?"
What is a
I didn't
nor'easter?
know.
yeah, what's nor'easter?
It's a storm.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've
A-
never
a
heard
type
of
of
that
storm?
term used
Like-
for a storm.
yeah. We get them over here. Here, hold on. Let me see. We do generally get them over here, but it's not necessarily a hurricane, but it's flash flooding and heavy winds.
Oh, jeez. Okay, I've got a raid before the timer goes out. I will
Do
talk
the
to you guys
thing.
later.
Later.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Later, guys.
Why?
bye bye.
I gotta go take care of stuff myself.